Okay, Javier, we have a new experiment. I was saving this experiment for tomorrow because I will be in the airport like 10 hours waiting for my next flight. But I did it today, so I have to find something else to do tomorrow. So we have this new kit on the block. I guess you have heard about it, the Model Context Protocol. I don't know if you have been reading all the news about it, or if you're aware of what it is.
I have, and actually, I watched the James Montemagne video.
Mhm.
I read a little bit, and I even asked Cloud to explain it to me. I has been a little confused between what was the difference between the model context protocol and actually just creating my own plugin with kernel function and so on. And uh, for me, the Montemagne say that is like the USB-C
Yeah.
of computers. Basically, you can have a mouse connecting to the USB-C, but you can have a keyboard, you can have any other type of peripheral, but they don't understand what you are being transferred,
Mhm.
like the protocol of how to transfer the data. And when it clicks for me, when was I saw that I could create a model context protocol and actually use it from GitHub Copilot. So
Mhm.
it's okay, wait, it's not only then that my code can call this plugin, it's actually that I can expose it to everyone out there.
Exactly, you explained it well. It's basically model context protocol is a standard. So when you create plugins for semantic kernel or tooling for Microsoft AI extension, it's just for those specific technologies. But with model context protocol, it's for other people to use the services that you're exposing. So this was created by Anthropic. They are the creators of the protocol. And Microsoft seemed to have full adopted this protocol. So again, you were talking about this article. So is the article from James Montemagno's official Microsoft article about how to create a model context protocol. But since we are in the world of SAF and XPO, of course, we want to integrate everything with SAF, right? So just to prove the point that SAF applications are normal standard .NET application, I created a MCP server for it. So I base my example on this idea of how to access SAF data outside of SAF application. I guess this is really common for people who use SAF. So basically it's a console application. Here is like a few lines, right? So let's go to the code. So this is basically a normal SAF application. I will run it. Um, Let me run the Windows version. There are some little changes here. For example, I'm using Postgres and not SQL Server, but that's because of my specific setup. So nothing to worry about. This will run in any database or any other provider that is supported by XPO. This is a really simple application. It has basically just one class. And in this application, we have customers. We have Javier, which is in Arizona, me, which in this case, I'm in El Salvador, my brother, who is in El Salvador too, and Pedro, who is in Florida. So we have four customers there. So now that we have our model context protocol, we can expose it. Basically, I added a new application. I added the references that we need, and I created a class. Basically, the class is a static class which creates an object space provider. And after that, you just have normal functions. These functions have to be decorated with MCP server tool attribute and then a description of what this method is doing. So I have two methods, query customer and get entity properties, which is hard coded that returns the properties that you can use to query an entity and create customer. So three methods, really, really simple. So this can be used in Visual Studio, but this tooling also always comes first to Visual Studio Code. So in this case, I have this instance of Visual Studio Code Insider. And once you open the solution where this server is, it discovers it. So here you see that you have the, the server running. to discover an MCP server, you just have to add one folder to your solution, which has this mcp.json and with the parameters that is going to be run. So basically the server will be run by the model itself. You don't even have to run the application. So it tells that it's going to use the standard output. There is a lot of to talk about the standard output, but that's a separate video. And it will run the .NET command. It will run my project where the server lives. And that's it. And after that, I have only one monitor because I'm still in Athens today. So after that, you just open, oh, I show what I wanted to show like a secret, but let's make a new window. Um, then you just create a new chat. When you create a new chat, you have these tools here. And if you can see when I press it, it opened the Visual Studio menu. And here is showing me the MCP functions that it discovered on my project. So we have the ones from the example from James Montemagno, and then we have the ones that I added, like create customer, get entity properties, and query customers. So what I'm going to do right now is ask Copilot, give me a list of customers. And we run it. And let's see what it does. It will try to discover the server and execute it. And it tells me, okay, I discovered a server that has this function, and I will send these parameters. So it will send an empty criteria. So we continue. So the model is in charge of actually spin up the server. It's turned on the server. So see, there is all the list of customers that we saw on the XAF application. Now I can tell something like, give me the list of customers in El Salvador. Let's see what it comes up with. So this is what it is going to send to the server. The criteria is address like El Salvador. So let's continue. It should return only my brother and me. Let's see. Address like. Okay, there you go. Oscar and Jose Manuel Ojeda. So both of us. And I can execute their function, like let's create customers. Um, create a customer name Joe from Florida. If I can type Florida, there you go. So this is going to create a customer and it's going to return the OID of that customer. So this is what it's going to execute. This is what is going to pass to the MCP server. And we say continue. I think there's an option to always accept the suggestion of what is going to run. So there you go. It created a customer and this is the OID. Let's copy this and let's run the XAF application right now. This is running in normal Visual Studio. So see, now we have Joe, Joe from Florida. And if we check the database, it will actually be there. So let's open our Postgres databases. We don't want to see this. And then we go here. Then schemas. Where, hold on. Here is public tables. And we have the customers. And let's check data. And we have Joe here, and the OID is the same OID that we saw on Visual Studio Code. So as you can see, after managing some stuff about CPU architecture, but that's again my computer, we managed to integrate a XAF application as an MCP server in Visual Studio Code. The other way that we can do this is actually integrate them with the cloud desktop app, or I think that ChatGPT desktop app can also connect with MCP servers. So it's just like magic, right? We can create SAF applications that can interact with LLM models um, that are not part of the code itself. So that's all the magic that I have for today, Javier. Any comments on it?
It's just beautiful. I'm just thinking about use cases because basically at some point, Oche, right now we're creating AI solutions, chatbots, and so on. But at some point, you're gonna bring the AI to where users are already there. So if
Mhm.
they're already using some type of a platform, you basically create your MCP and let them continue use that one to interact with your current application. So you will see like dominoes or like
Mhm.
Pizza Hut starting creating their MCP so that they can order from there and so on. Let's see how that goes.
Or any software, it can say like, okay, I create the CRM for you or the ERP. I provide you an API, and also I provide you MCP server so you can connect to my system through any AI model that you want that is outside there. So I think that even though this is super experimental, because some of the things that we're using were launched like 2 days ago. Of course, we like to be in the leading edge and always give it a try. So I guess we'll make a series of MCP servers from now on and interaction with SAP. So, well, that's everything for this video. I hope that is interesting for you and see you on the next one.
Take care.